Hi CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we're going to learn how to make these cute little watermelon keychains. Super easy, definitely beginner friendly. So let's go ahead and get into our material. So I got these cool little keychains from Amazon. You can find them, I'll link them below in the description box. They weren't very expensive and you get tons of keychains. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook. I am going to be needing a pair of scissors, and you will need a darning needle to work in your ends and to put your little black seeds on your watermelon. If you want to, you're going to need a stitch marker. I just use a piece of yarn because I always lose my stitch markers. Okay, so I would like to ask you before we get into the tutorial to please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notify me bell below so you can get notified of my future videos. Yeah, and if you love this video or my videos in general, please share them. That helps more than anything, okay? And I appreciate it so much. Real quick, before I get into the tutorial, a lot of people want to know exactly what type yarn I'm using. This is a pink cotton yarn that I think it's just Walmart cotton, pink cotton yarn. And then I've got this lime green color, and this came out of actually a Lion Brand mandala cake. So that came out of there, and this is actually already turning, but I'm going to continue to use it. I think it looks really good. And this is just Mainstays green yarn that you can pick up at Walmart. Okay, we're going to start with our pink yarn, and we're going to start with a magic circle. If you don't know how to do any of the stitches that we're doing this video, please look at the beginner video in the description box below. So we're going to make our magic circle, and into our magic circle we're going to put 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then you're going to pull tight, and you're going to actually slip stitch into your first stitch. So this is why I was saying you may not need a stitch marker, but if you're new to crochet and you find it hard to see your stitches, it would still be helpful to use one possibly. And if you want to use one, I'll show you where to put it, okay? So that's our first round. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go right back into the same spot we just slip stitched into, right under there, and we're going to put 2 single crochets. So there's 1 and there's 2. If you need to use a stitch marker, put it in this first single crochet, okay? Now we're going to go into our next stitch and put 2 single crochets. And into the next 2 single crochets. So you're going to keep doing 2 single crochets in each stitch around, so you're increasing all the way around, and you should end up with a count of 18. Okay, so let's make sure we have 18. So starting right here with our first stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, okay? And now we're gonna go right into this first single crochet that we did, not the chain 1 that you'll see over here, but in the actual single crochet, we're going to put a slip stitch, just like that. Then we're going to chain 1 and go right back under there where we slip stitch, and we're going to put 1 single crochet. Then we're going to go into our next stitch and we're going to put 2 single crochets. and into the next we're going to put 1 single crochet, and into the next we're going to put 2 single crochets. So you're going to keep doing that all the way around. 1 single crochet in the next, 2 single crochets in the next one. And so now you should have 27 stitches around, and now we're going to slip stitch and again into our first single crochet that we did, okay? And now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go right back into the same spot where we did our slip stitch, put 1 single crochet, go into the next stitch, put 1 single crochet, and then go into the next and put 2 single crochets. Then go into the next stitch and put 1 single crochet, go into the next 1 single crochet, and then go into the next and put 2 single crochets. So that's what you're going to do all the way around now. And the next stitch, 1 single crochet, and the next 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch you're going to put 2 single crochets. So now we're on our last stitch, and we're going to put our 2 single crochets there, and so now we should have a count of 36. And now we're going to change colors. So actually I'm going to undo that last single crochet I did, because that's how we're going to bring in our color so it doesn't show the color change. So go right into that stitch again and pull up like you're going to do a single crochet. Just lay your stuff down and bring in your other color. So I'm going to bring in my green now, and I'm just simply going to pull it through those 2 loops to finish that single crochet. And in the back, I'm going to tie this, okay? And then this will just sit inside. Now we can go ahead and cut off our pink yarn. Normally you would have to work these in, but because we're going to be folding this over and stuffing it, you're not going to need to do that, okay? And so now we've got our green yarn right where it needs to be, and we're going to go into our next stitch and do a slip stitch just like that to join it. Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go right, just like we've been doing, into the same stitch and put 1 single crochet. And in the next stitch, you're going to put 1 single crochet, and in the next 1 single crochet, and into the next you're going to put 2, 1 and 2, and in the next stitch 1 single crochet, and in the next 1 single crochet, and the next 1 single crochet, and in the next 2 single crochets. So just keep doing that all the way around. So we're going to finish this here with our 2 single crochets, and you should have 45 stitches now. But again, we're going to undo this single crochet, and we're just going to go in like we're making a single crochet, because we're going to change colors now. So I'm going to pull those 2 loops up, and I'm going to leave them right there. And now we're going to pull in our dark green. Got our dark green, and we're just going to pull it right through these 2 loops to finish that stitch. Turn it over. That stitch is going to be loose now. That's fine, because we're going to tighten it up when we tie these together in the back, just like that. Okay, now we can cut off our light green. That's going to sit right in the middle. And now we're just going to go around and do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So we're literally going to go right into our first stitch right there where we did a slip stitch. After we chain 1, chain 1, go right into that stitch and put a single crochet, and then you're going to put a single crochet in every stitch around, just like this. 1 single crochet in each and every stitch. So by the end of this round, you should have 45 again. Once you get to the end here, you're going to slip stitch into your first single crochet there, and then you're all done with that round. Now you want to leave a long piece of your dark green, because you're going to use that to sew this watermelon together. And then you're just going to pull out. You're not going to go through like this and pull in. You're just going to literally pull it out just like that, because we're going to sew it. Okay, so you can make sure that these are tightened in the back. like this. And then I just take all of my leftovers and put them right in the middle. And then I turn this where this is going to be right on the side where I can start from the side over here, okay, when I start to sew. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use some of my pink yarn as stuffing. Of course, you can use stuffing if you want, but I'm just going to use the pink in here. I think it'll look good so the stuffing doesn't show through, because cotton yarn can tend to leave bigger holes in amigurumi projects, especially if you're using a bigger hook like I was. So I'm just going to place that right in there, and again I'm going to make sure that this is over here, and then I'm just going to fold it over like a taco. I don't want it stuffed too much, just a little bit. Of course, you can stuff it as much as you want. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to sew this together. So I'm going to take my darning needle. I'm going to put my dark green yarn onto my darning needle. And I'm going to start right over here, right into this first stitch, working through the back loop here and working through this loop over here. So just like this. So the back loop here, and then this would technically be the back loop for this stitch over here. And I'm just going to work like this. It gives it a little bit of a lip on the top, and I like the way that looks, so I'm just going to do this. You could go through both. You could use your hook if you don't have a darning needle, your crochet hook, and just slip stitch it together, single crochet it together. You can do whatever you want. But I'm just trying to line these up, going through each stitch. Sorry about the noise, guys. My cats are playing fiercely right now for some reason. Probably because I'm doing a video. And I've got a fan going because it's super hot in my house. So I'm really sorry for the background noise. Just having to do what I have to do right now. Okay. Right, and then into that last stitch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work into this end right here, and I'm going to go right into the middle. Okay, and when I do that, that's going to pull that forward where it's not so pointy on the sides and looks more like a watermelon. And I'm going to go right over here and do the same thing. So I'm just working over to this green. And then, so on this side, I'm just going to go right back through, and that's going to pull that in as well. See, it just pulls it in a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to work this in our 3 times. 1, and now let's work this in 1, as many times as you can with the yarn that you have. 3 times is usually the best to do. Okay, and then I can cut that off. Cut it kind of tight so it'll go back into your project. If you see any yarn poking out from what you did, just take the end of your darning needle and press it like that, the other side of the darning needle, and it'll press the yarn in if you have any poking out, okay? And I'm gonna pull this through. I'm gonna leave some in the back to work in, and then I'm just gonna go right back through again, going through another little hole, because if you go back through the same one, it's just gonna come out, okay? And then I'm gonna come out over here, and you're just gonna place these sporadically, but I'm gonna go back into the same spot again. I'm gonna come up here, go out, If you don't come back into the same spot, then you'll leave a mark on the other side. It's up to you whether you want to have it on both sides or not. I did. That way if the keychain was to turn, it would look exactly the same. So I'm just going to put these everywhere. I don't want them to be too big or too small. You want them to be able to be seen, but you don't want them to be too big, okay? So I'll probably do like one more over here. Remember, I'm going into the same spot, but coming out where I want to come out at. And then I'll just go through here. And then I'll do one more in the middle. Just like that. If any of them go in too far for your liking, you can just take your darning needle and pull them out just a little bit and very gently, so that they don't come all the way undone. And then you would do the other side the exact same way, but this time what I'm going to do is go inside the project and down instead of coming out the other way. So just like that. And then this piece is almost done, so I'm just going to work it in now. Just like that. And then I'm going to cut off. And I'm going to use the other side of my darning needle to press that in. And then I'm going to put this on and I'm going to work it in. Now obviously you would want your piece to have been longer so you could finish putting seeds on this side. But for the sake of the video, we're just going to leave it the way it is. So I'm going to put these two pieces onto my darning needle and I'm going to make just one more little watermelon seed right here. And then I'm just going to work this in. So I'll go through again. And then you'll just cut off. Just remember, you want to leave a little bit more than I did for your yarn. And again, I see a little bit of black poking out right there, so I'm going to use the other side of my darning needle to press that in, just like that. And this came through a little bit too much, so I'm going to pull it out again. I want that one to look a little bit more fluffy, so I'm going to pull that one out. So you see, you can just, manipulate these any way that you want. So the way I did my keychain for this is I just put it through here and put the actual ring on the top. You can do it the opposite way if you want. It's totally up to you. I just thought this was much easier to do and I did not have to chain anything. I have a little bit of trouble holding these down with my nails. So I just find the middle and I go through right there, and then I take my ring, and since my nails are so long, I just take the darning needle and press it in between like that, and then press it on like that. Undo it, and then just pull it around. Okay? And then you can use the ring to put on your keychain. And then you have a cute little watermelon, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this cute little tutorial. If you need any help, don't hesitate to ask. You can comment below in the YouTube section, obviously, and I try to get back to everyone if I possibly can who asks anything. And if you don't want to do that, if you're not comfortable with that, then you can, I have a Gmail, you can message me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, crochet page, I have a TikTok, I have an Instagram, and all of that is below in the description box, and I would appreciate it if you come visit me there, yeah, and show me your watermelons, okay? So happy crocheting, have a great day, bye-bye.